Right now, every kid is 110%. Every young kid that's out there that's committing a crime is 110%. From the time they wake up to the time they begin drug activities. I'm not talking about guys in bar fights. I'm talking about someone out there making millions of dollars and thousands of dollars every day. That's probably, if you walk a couple of blocks down that way, you'll go into the hood. You walk a couple of blocks down that way, you go into the hood. And that's the world that nobody knows about. But that's the world that I come from. So my sister lives right down the street. And I think I was telling them a story about my nephew getting shot 9 times. And I remembered it was right down the street. So when I know when most people visit Baltimore, you're happy. And it's horrible. But when I visit Baltimore, I'm paranoid. So I got to be aware because I know certain things that a lot of people don't know. So I think we had somebody that was teaching yesterday. He still lives in the city. But I'll never live in the city of Baltimore again. I just know too much and I've seen too much. So I'll visit and I'll help and I'll give, but I will not live. And even though my sister lived right down the street from me, and that's because I come back and I'm on the outside and I can help bring a certain level of awareness to so many people in the city. We're gonna go through something that we call, in my book, I got a couple of books up there. In the first book I ever read called Complete Martial Artist. It has something before anybody ever understood. It's called the jailhouse workout, because when I was incarcerated in a maximum security prison, let out for 1 hour, locked down for 23 hours, I wanted to commit suicide and hang myself. So I had to figure out what could I do to not commit suicide. Made a prayer, asked God to let me do what I'm doing now, and every day I would wake up. So while everybody else was sleeping in jail, I would wake up and do the jailhouse workout. So all these titles and all that movie stuff that everybody talked about, I developed that in jail. Not when I was already a world champion when I went to jail, and I was already certified in mainland China when I went to jail. But because I grew up in the city of Baltimore, there were so many things that wasn't provided in the community that I was in, so I had to choose to hustle so my mom could get off of welfare. It wasn't because I wanted to be a criminal, it was because my mom was on welfare. And there's a dynamic that most people don't know about, and you live in this city. But I guarantee you walk down a couple of stores, when you go in, you're going to see fences, you're going to see bars, and you might not understand why they got those white plates over there. Why they don't want to connect with the customer. Because the kids that I'm talking about, they're not going to go to clubs. They're going to go there with so much money that when they walk into the club, they can get in a gun, they can get in all the things that most people are not aware of. And those are the ones that change the whole dynamics of the city. There's an aspect that used to be called lawfare projects where I used to live in. They tore the projects down, not because they wanted to fix public housing. It was just that when the police came in those projects and we ran into those buildings, and you talking about it's like thousands of homes, they didn't know how to get that criminal. Because everybody in the project building would let you in their house because you give them $1,000 or something to just hide from the police. So they had to tear the high-rise down. So if you ever do a research in Baltimore, they'll say lawfare projects demolished. They had to tear it down because it was a war zone. But now that war zone is on every corner that we go to right now. It's on every corner. I live in Columbia now. So guess what? Section 8 housing, which we're talking about, is now in the suburbs. So it's no longer just hidden. So my awareness is wondering, for example, I ask you a question. And we can go. If you see a kid walking down the street like this right now, what would you think? Because how many people got kids in here? Is this a new fashion for kids? Kids want to wear hoodies, right? But why don't somebody put their hoodie on? Because they coming to stick you up. This is not a fashion statement. This is designed to hide their face so they can come and stick you up. But we have made the uncomfortable violence of hurting someone a part of your fashion statement. So when I teach my students in the suburbs, and I tell you that, y'all became so comfortable with the criminal mentality, you can't separate from it. But even I know and I hate to say it, and I'm not stereotyping myself, but I see a couple of young black African-American kids coming up with their pants up, walking by me, I'm already paranoid because I know something, that ain't right. Normal people don't dress like that. There's certain reasons why people dress a certain way. But the problem now is that they now went into the suburbs, and we're not aware of it. You got to become aware of it. So the first thing in street combat we talk about, be aware of your surroundings. Let me show you. From the time I walk out this door, out my house, I got to be aware of what's going on. From the time I walk, I know everything about this block. Everything about it. I know how far I can go down. I know how far I can't go down. And my wife will not even come here. And she comes from Baltimore. But I'm not saying it in a bad way. Once you understand awareness and once you understand how to adjust, because it's no longer not just here. Like I said, it's in every suburb. Remember the criminal, what we got to remember, the criminal can't commit a crime in Baltimore because everybody's aware of the criminal. So they got to come to suburbs so they can commit a crime because most people in the suburbs are not aware. I remember one time we was doing some type of, because I got a real successful school, so we were handing out flyers, and I told the students, go and hand out the flyers, and I sat back and I watched and said, watch, that person right there is a drug addict, they're a drug fig. If you understand what drug addicts are and how they dress and how they move and how they scratch, I said, but watch. Because the student not aware of their drug addict, they're going to go and try to get that drug addict a flyer. So the student, and I just sat there, I had to protect him. I was sitting out there, I'm not going to let anything happen to him. But I sat there and I watched that the person was nodding out and doing this, and she kept on trying to give her flyer. She did not know that this person was a drug addict, and her friend behind her was trying to rob somebody, but because the student wasn't aware of that attitude and personality, she didn't know what to do. And when she came over and said, when you see somebody doing all that, but guess what? Is that just how many people go to Lexington Market?
Not for a while.
Not for a while. There's certain areas, I'm not trying to put fear, and I think what we teach here, once we become aware of these things, even though I got in trouble here, and I always tell people I got locked up because I beat the police up. I broke their finger, I cracked their jaw, and we fell down a couple of steps because I was intoxicated. And now I teach policemen, and I work with policemen, and I do all that stuff. I don't believe in all those other things where it's about, police are bad. If I was a policeman and I seen a kid with their pants down and they doing all this, like, yo, what's up? Or even in one of the handouts we gave, we told regular civilians what you should do when the police pull you over. I don't care what society tell you to do. What should you do to make them feel comfortable? If I was an officer and somebody's like, yeah, well, you shouldn't be pulling me over, man. What you want? Yo, film me right now. How would you feel? I would feel nervous. I would feel proud and say, what you got is the same type of energy happening. What I realized from both sides of the street, when you get hard, I'm going to get soft. We said it last night, I'm going to punk up. I'm going to be the softest person in the world. I'm not even going to zero out and act like I'm tough. That's why when people ask me, where have you come to? Martial arts really don't matter. I don't care about styles, I don't care about talents. You can Google and see all that. I don't care about that. Because it doesn't. I want to be the most humblest person in the world. So when something bad comes or something happens, you're not even going to worry about me because I'm going to suck her up. If you say stick up, I'm going to act like a little punk. I'll do whatever you want. Whatever you want. Because in a split second, if I sense you want to kill me, then I'm going to do my very best to kill you before you kill me. But what might happen, if I say, well, what do you want? In that split second, you might go ahead and take my money and take my car keys and not get away. There's a certain level of energy. And what I tell everybody, I don't drink, I don't use drugs, I don't use anything that can hinder my ability to feel an instinct to think. Because I gotta feel, if somebody got a gun on you, like, yo, what's going on? Drop your hands. You can feel if they're gonna pull the trigger. Or you can feel from their voice tonality what they're gonna do. If somebody's gonna come up, stand up for a second. People just don't come up like this. Come up. What's going on, dog? How you good?
I'm good.
See, all what I'm doing, I'm already creating this atmosphere. Mr. Tony, what's going on, man? What's up? See, we already creating that atmosphere. But I tell students, I don't care what type of stuff they finished, we taught back in the day, nobody should ever get up this close to you. Now, I don't care, not even, my family don't even get that close to you. What we got to understand is boundaries. We're not even talking about physical boundaries, we're talking about emotional boundaries. I feel uncomfortable. I even tell my wife to take. My wife don't even hug people, especially men. She said because some people hug you like this. If a man hugs a woman like that, he really don't know something going on there. And she don't tell you that. So what we got to do is learn how to create that sort of space. So Miss Tony, walk up to me. What's going to be good? What time? You got the time? What time? So I already established something. I think I said in class yesterday, a lot of times what we do, excuse me, it's my energy. A lot of times we have a habit of meeting and greeting where we come up and going, are you good, man? Good, I'm good. So if I love you, I'm going to hug you like this. But anybody that I grew up with in the city of Baltimore, when I come up to you, you good?
I'm good.
How's it been? Man, look at you tight there, boy. So what I have done, I done took his mind off of whatever he was trying to do. And that just don't make me stupid. That don't just come from martial arts. Tony Robbins tells you that. So all this stuff is connected. He said, if you want to be wealthy, act wealthy. If you want to go in a room, you want to control a room, do what the person you're trying to get the job from. So if he's trying to actually, I'm trying to get employment or even get something from him, if he folds his arms, I fold my arms. If he puts his arms behind his back, I put my arms behind my back. If he starts scratching his head, I scratch my head. But I don't do it where it's noticeable. I do it from a level of acting. But what happens is that now he feels comfortable with me because there's a rhythm. One of the things that we gotta realize is that everything happens in rhythm. What's going on? You good? How you feeling? Where you been? What the hell with you? Everything good.
Everything good.
See how we moving with the rhythm? What the predator needs to happen is that rhythm to break. When I'm starting to move with you and I'm talking to you, the woman's like, yo, what's that? Boom. Once that rhythm happens, it's over and done with. But it's not going to happen in a second. It's going to happen in less than a second. And the reason why I'm saying that, and when I talk, I don't promote criminal mentality. But what I'm saying, because I was on the other side of everything that I wrote, everything that I did was when I was in a level of darkness. To survive on the streets of Baltimore, you got less than a second to make it happen. Because I got the stick-up man, I got the police, I got the drug addict, I got all these things that's happening to me all at one time. I'm not talking about the adult, I'm talking about the young kid that's his age. The reason why I got to keep these people in to my dojo, because we shouldn't be worrying about you. You already civilized. What you should be worrying about is this age. Look at the statistics in the city. Look at the statistics in crime. What's happening with that age? And when you go back and think of yourself as being a teenager, were you superhuman? Did you feel like you could stop anything and do anything? That's the age bracket. Most things that we're training for is for older people. We need to deal with, all that stuff that you talk about, that was when I was 18, 16, 15, and 13. As I got older, I became more civilized. So when I speak and I talk to a lot of people, I didn't even think I would ever make it to 18. So to even be past 18 today, that's a blessing. So that's what we got to make the adjustments for. So every type of move or technique we do is to help us be able to respond and adapt to that youth. Let's stand up for a minute. All right, this is the jailhouse workout. We went through a couple of things before, but we're going to pick this up just a little bit. So what I realized that whenever something happens, whenever something break off, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go here. It's going to be up, it's going to be down. So what I had to do was put this together with a calisthenic in a jail cell. So we call it the prayer smack. Hands coming straight up like you're making a prayer. It's like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Modern day me, I always add a calisthenic into when we do a prayer smack. So watch the front line. They're going to do prayer smack, then burpee. Let's go. Give me 10. Go. 1. Boom. Back up. Go. We got to maximize the time. Move up some, guys. Move up some. And break. Let's do it again. Let's try 3. Let the back line go, then the front line go. Back line go. Work. And you guys keep running while they move. And now you go. Boom. There you go. All right, so relax. We're still moving, so once we get the energy moving. So this uncomfortable situation of being in a small room, imagine walking down the project building, the stairways like this, and they got doo-doo on the pole, they got pee on the pole, and the lights are knocked out, and somebody working around the corner ready to rob you or get you. So when you come running down the stairway, your hand might roll into and poop because somebody actually pooped on the thing. Somebody peed on the stairway. So the corners and the walls, when you go through that project, is like this. So whatever I got to do, I got to be able to function like that. If you have to, hopefully we will never get incarcerated. That's why you want to avoid a fight. But the narrow hallways are like this. Everything you do in the jail, they got to be done in this sort of space. So right now, let's be aware of us runners trying to make that adjustment, even though we got the persons right here. So we got our upwards press smack. Now we're going to do our downward press smack. Give me 2. Go. 1, 2. And then give me down. Squat jump. Boom. 1, 2, squat. Go. Up. Yep. Go. 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 All right, so relax. So, in a jail, when 9 times out of 10 somebody's going to attack you with a toothpick, a toothbrush that they took and shaved on the end, so it becomes like a knife, they're going to find some type of weapon that's not going to be a knife, because you can't have a weapon in jail. So whenever this person's attacking me or coming pressure with me, he's punching, we call it 52 blocks. Everything is done in this matter. Everything, 52 blocks, because I know I might be on this jail cell and he's attacked me, punch. I'm right here. So when he start doing that, I'm going in. Okay? So when we do our prayer smack, everything's close in. Do it like a prayer. Because if he comes there, give me a double choke, go. See how I come up? But I already got him right here. My hand's already ready to do something. He comes up, boom, right there. My hands are already there. So this is a natural motion, go. But it leads into so many other motions. But first I gotta stop it. So we're gonna get a partner. Go over here, stop, but critically think about what you would do from there. Let's go, everybody get a partner real fast. I'm trying to move real fast. Upper press smack. You already stopped the choke. What you gonna do? You already went up. Stop the grab. Now what would you do after that?
Okay, you choke me.
You can't stop her from choking. Whatever you want to do. Okay, so now we're going to move on. All right, guys, so here's the thing, the reason why I move real fast. Even though I study martial arts, I got black belts in different arts, none of that's going to help me on the street. What helps me is that I had to be creative and adapt to whatever came my way. So this, what I do is sometimes when I teach in the class, I show them a technique. And I say, where did that technique come from? Some people say, Master who? And what do I say?
So you made it up.
It don't come from Master nothing. When you were sitting there trying to figure out what is the rhythm that goes with this. It's rhythm. So when my hand comes up, look at the rhythm. There's a beat. Once you understand the beat that you already got, you can do whatever you want to do. First, we got to stop it. Now he's coming again. Now let's say, because 9 times out of 10, I came up in a community center called McKemp's Community Center. So if you research them, they're like one of the best wrestling facilities still to this day. You ever heard of somebody by the name of Muggsy Bogues, the shortest basketball player? That's my friend, came up in McKemp's. But Muggsy could have got a scholarship in wrestling. So when you start punching at my head, Muggsy's going to take you down. Muggsy's going to take you down and slam your head on the edge of the sidewalk. Because once I saw you slam your head on the edge of the sidewalk, or Muggsy going to grab you and run you into the corner of that wall. You know that little poke, that edge of that wall? And you're not moving anymore. So he's going to come with a double leg. We call it a bust. Who's give me a bust? Double leg. Boom, I'm coming right here so that once again, go. Come up a little higher. Downward prayer smack. Come here, right here. Downward prayer smack. Boom, same thing. We talked about, go. I just take my thumbs and go there. Pow. He comes again. Pow, my elbow. He comes again. Boom. All the stuff we just worked. So let's go with the downward prayer smack. Ready? Let's work.
Sir.
Have fun!
Say out.
Oh. Five, four, three, two, one. Okay, we're gonna move to the next drill. All right, guys. Anybody that knows me, they know that I move fast. When I had a chance to go to China in 1984 when the Great Wall first opened, because I was like #1 in the world, and I got an all-expense trip to go to mainland China to be certified, I knew that how do I come from Baltimore to China? But when I went to mainland China when the doors first opened, whatever they taught me, I had to make sure I get so I can come back and win a world championship to change my mother's life. So when I went to mainland China and I sat there and I seen Jet Li's coach and this coach and I'm sitting there and I said, man, if I get this opportunity, it could change my life. I made up a kata based upon what they were doing. So when the coaches say, come demonstrate, no Chinese, no English, I made up a form so good that all they did was built on that form, and when I came back, I beat the world champion. I gotta go on my creativity because I gotta eat. Nobody's gonna come and get me, and nobody didn't come and get me, and still nobody's not gonna come and get me. I don't care how much money you got, who you are, not trying to be funny. That's what I told my daughter. My daughter's in California right now. She's the #1 black female stunt person for Angela Bassett and all those different people. You know what I tell her? Ain't no boy gonna come and get you. Ain't no man gonna come and get you. When he takes you out on a date, you take your own self back home. Don't be dependent on nobody. My wife's the same way. We independent. You understand what I'm saying? So what you gotta do is be creative. When I'm moving, I'm trying to get you to tap into your own creative strength. Don't count on me and look at me because I might turn on you one day because who's gonna be the first person gonna attack you? Somebody you know. So don't take it wrong when I'm moving like this, but they'll all tell you I get frustrated, even my little kids. Don't look at me, look inside yourself, because you already got it. So when he's coming again, all you gotta do, come down low, grab my legs. You just gotta stop. Grab me, go. Come on. Try to stop. Hold on. And here's the other thing, when somebody double-legged take down go, his goal is to pick me up and body slam me. Okay? One thing I learned before I even seen the UFC, go grab me. If my leg goes back, he can't grab me. But here's the other thing. Go grab me. Boom! Once I go to his back, he's done. That just comes from a natural motion on the street. So when he comes, we're going to do is step your leg back. Because he needs your legs to be together. He needs to get under your center of gravity and pick you up. Change that. So 2 things. When you stop, drop. My weight goes on his back, so he goes down. He can't keep moving forward. Let's try that. You just need him to stop. You okay? You good?
Your legs will all back up.
Slide one leg back where it's hard for me to reach. See? Now I can't reach it. That's what you're going to use your hands. I'm pushing your leg back.
You are right on the edge. Yeah, honestly, you're just pulling yourself down. Like, where's that? Then
Okay, all right, we're going to move on. So, the reason why I know all this work, I never would fight back, so I used to be beat up. People used to take my shoe. People would bust my lip and make me walk home, and I would always cry. And my mom would say, my sister would say, fight back. I would never fight back, because they'll tell you I don't like to fight. So I used to get bullied so much before you even came up with the term bully. I had to walk home and be embarrassed and humiliated, and people would pick me up, body slam me on the street, do all that. I knew martial arts, but I just didn't want to fight. So my sister, who don't know nothing about martial arts and handicapped in 2 ears, she said, "You gonna fight?" And she showed me how to fight. The time I had to stand up, it was 2 guys, and I won. The second time, my kids always laugh. There's a guy by the name of Lumpy Joe. Lumpy Joe's one of the baddest wrestlers I had ever met. You could just sit back and watch him on the street. He would do stuff to people, and he's still alive, that would blow your mind. But Lumpy Joe attacked me one time. I didn't win, but when I stopped him, it made him realize that I wasn't an easy get over. So now me and Lump good. It's not going to be that you're going to always win. You got to establish that I ain't a pushover. You can do whatever you want to do. Try to do to me, I'm going to fight it back. So that's what I'm trying to establish here when we moving and we going like that. The other thing, when you go to, when I go back straight go, I'm still moving too. Don't stop. So don't just go here to move the leg out the way. I gotta spin. I gotta keep moving. And then I'm getting up. And that might happen on the street. So let's try it. Let's go back and move around. You're just trying to stop it from grabbing your leg. That's all you're trying to do. Let's go, please. Yeah, there we go. There you go. Keep moving. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're going to move to the next second. All right, so I showed you a press smack. Give me a jab. That same motion. Give me a jab cross. That's that same motion. So I already showed you a downward press smack. That's everything you need. It's not just to stop the choke. Punch. See, my hands are still there. I'm still working. Upper press smack. Give me a punch. But in street combat, when somebody punch me, I'm going to grab you. Because what happens to a man in a split second when you grab?
You're afraid of falling.
Huh?
You're afraid of falling.
Yeah, well, no, but your mind like, oh, get off me, let me go. What happens if you throw a punch and I smack you as a man? What happens? There's certain things that, thank you, Mr. Tony. There's certain things that you do that will shock your system. I need the shock to happen for me to do whatever I need to do. So even if I do this punch, I always grab. If I block and I grab and I elbow, I call this being intimate. You talk about in love. Once I get in, I gotta love you. Just like I would love my wife, I cannot let you get away. So we just gonna play, because it's not a pattern. All we're doing, if he goes with a jab, give me a double choke, boom, jab, double choke, boom. Just play with it. Who you gonna just slap box? Yeah, in the neighborhood, he's like, come on, man, let's go. That's all we talking about. I got one in on you. See? That's what they do. That's what kids do. Let's try that. But don't smack each other for real, please. All right. Mr. Collins Sack. Pop.
I have an expensive.
Downward fair smack.
You got it. Coming out. I'm just saying, you as a child, I was freaking out.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All these drills that we showed you is just reactionary drills. Whatever you do beyond them, that's up to you. One of the nice drills we like to do in the JoJo is doing Mr. Williams. Grab Mr. Tony, double choke. Go Mr. Tony, grab. And go around. And go. Grab Mr. Williams. Go Mr. Williams, grab. Go around. Outside. Aiden, come here. So somebody decides when he chokes me, because here's the thing you gotta remember. Stop a second. We never learned this in the dojo, guys. I seen a friend have a guy in the projects and they were sticking somebody up. The man walked right by the fence with his suitcase, his briefcase, and the guy just grabbed him and lifts him up in the air. That ain't, you ain't gotta go to the school to learn that. Everybody know how to do this on the street. So because everybody know how to do that, when he chokes me, I gotta stop and keep the flow going. Then I'm going, he gotta stop, keep the flow going. He goes, okay, go. Go, boy. That's the drill. To get your reaction going, all right? Let's try that, guys, but don't choke each other out for real. You sure you?
Sorry.
You sure what you're doing?
We're good. Yeah. We both have a lot of surgery done to our noses. And we're kind of, I'd rather not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep working.
Because basically, you just get
So that's the idea. I've been trying to avoid happening.
All right, so everybody watch this. Mr. Tony choke me. When Mr. Tony chokes me and I'm not doing the drill, if I stop the choke me, as long as I keep turning inside, my head gotta come outside. I don't care what nobody say. It's a flow. It's a thing that the body gotta do. Okay? So as long as I'm not going this way. I'm turning in. My head is going in. But first I gotta stop the choke, and then I come outside. I just don't want them to choke me out. That's all I'm trying to do. Let's try it one more time, please.
Sir?
That was a lot of your
But that's the thing. I want to stay nice and close.
gentle.
It's not just the turn, so if you go
Yep, and keep turning your head. Yep, keep turning your head.
So you're turning your entire body.
can't keep a whole body.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. All right, we got to see everybody.
Sir.
All right, I'm 60 years old. I done put every drug in my system that most people can't imagine. The only thing I never did was put a needle on my arm. So I get on the treadmill. However the treadmill can run, I'm running that level because I want to bust my heart. You know why? Because I can never let anything take control of me, never again. No person, no place, no thing. So if you see my wife, she's the same way. You see my kids, she's the same way. My wife been raped, hit in the face with a hammer, left for dead, and she never sold a drug a day in her life. She learned all that martial arts stuff that we talk about, master taekwondo and whatever. She has a program called Women's Street Combat. When you hear her story, it will probably bring tears to your eyes. But when you see me on text, I'm just celebrating my kids, going to soccer, doing all this. My wife talking about what she's doing. But you would see it, you would not think that she's the person I'm talking about, am I correct? She's the nicest person in the world. When I created this program, I said, I just don't believe men should teach women self-defense. I believe a strong woman that got the strong strength and will should teach another woman self-defense. And then a man can add to that because there's things that a woman body and a woman can experience emotionally. And when I met my wife, and we've been married for 30 years, I knew that she was the one. And it's not promoting. If you see the tapes and see what we do, and if you ever see us in the gym, she's like, no, don't be hit me soft, hit me hard. Hit me harder, harder. And it's not so much about being able to be tough, it's just called being assertive. And when you done took yourself to that level, everything that I do, my kids, my wife, my students, I train at a level right here. Because like we talked about, we said, hyperextend everything that you do. Well, in Kung Fu, we do that. Because whenever I'm closed in, my body want to break free because it's used to freedom. So if you train at an extended distance like they talked about, whenever I'm trapped small, I got power. So when we push, and I know I might go real fast, but they'll tell you they come to the school on the same way. We have a little saying, you have less than a second. Only 60 seconds in, it didn't choose it, can't refuse it, but it's up to you. Use it, do it now, do it now, do it now. That's how I fight. The fight is less than a second. You don't have a second. Everything that you can imagine in life happens in less than a second. I'm not promoting, so some people might feel uncomfortable. If you do a research, you'll see everything I'm saying to you in every black belt magazine, in every movie, and everything, that everybody know the story. Everybody knows the story, ain't no secret. But the thing that I had to do that made me push is that whenever I went to sleep, I had to complete what I had to complete because when I woke up the next day, I could die. Somebody could stab me, somebody could hurt me, somebody could do something to me in that prison cell. So I had to have the faith that I would get to where I'm at right now. So when I move on instinct and I'm moving fast and I'm moving and I'm doing certain things, it's because I can't trust anything or any person or any place or anything. And what's so crazy when I teach it to my students, the same thing. I got a 10-year-old son. He didn't went to school. And this 1 week, we didn't have an encounter where 2 kids brought a gun to the school. In an elementary school in Colombia, because I live in Colombia. So this shouldn't happen in Colombia. This just should not happen in Colombia. And then my son in high school, they brought a gun to school. This is why self-defense is so important, because guess what? They did not suspend that kid from school. They let him come back to school. Because the law says you can't suspend kids no more. So when I'm saying it's worse now, who really runs the school now? The kids. Who's really telling who what to do? The kids. Because people don't know every law and everything is laid in place. You can't hit them. You can't say nothing to them. You can't do anything. So when I'm sitting there seeing a kid go crazy, well, my mother, you come to my school and you cuss at me, I'm going to cuss back at you. You come to my school, you hit me, I'm going to hit you back. I ain't got that problem in my school. So of course the principal will say, y'all need to come in, because I'm going to look at you in your eye and we're going to talk. And 9 times out of 10, we're going to find a way to find peace. And then we're going to go back to restructuring what our society don't focus on. If you ever see me in class, you ever see me do this in class?
No, sir.
You ever see me do this in class?
No, sir.
You ever see me do this in class?
No, sir.
For all the years, we've been over for 30 years, I will never demonstrate negative body language in front of anybody. Because the moment you do this, you done already told somebody you're a threat. The moment in our class, I will never sidebar talk when somebody doing it. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
I treat my students with so much respect that they give it back to me. And I think our first level of being aware of our surroundings is, how is your body language? What are you doing in the room? I tell kids when I'm teaching, don't move. You're doing all that moving. When that teacher turn their back and I turn around, I think you up to something. Now when the police say pull over, don't move, and you start scratching, and they hit you upside the head with a gun, who did that? You did it. Because you escalated by not doing a simple thing. You can stand like this in the dojo, or you can stand like this. You can never do anything that represents negativity. You can't put your hands in your pocket. Because walk down the street, put your hands in your pocket. Guess what's going to happen? When somebody grab you in the bear hug, how you going to get your hands up? So we always teach these things where I think one of our problems is we learn how to function with positive body language, positive vocabulary, and positive eye contact. I can look at you in your eyes and tell you I love you. If I can do all that, we won't have any conflict. And I say this last thing, think about it. I haven't been in a fight for 40 years. I've been in drug wars. Anything you can imagine has happened to me in this city. And I can still go back to the neighborhood that I was raised in. And as a matter of fact, Martin O'Malley gave me a proclamation as a man's day for going back to the same community that I destroyed to rebuild the community. So I can go right back to that community and I can see those same old guys and nobody will say anything negative. They'll see it because my body, I have changed. So I think when we talk about combat, even the police, and when people talk about all that racial, whatever, I never had that problem in Baltimore. I don't know why people say that. You escalate. It ain't the color, it ain't the badge, whatever. It's your personality. So when you can walk around all those people and talk and we can get along, that's because I done brought that sort of energy when I walk in the room. And I think that's the most important thing. Just be aware of what you're doing. If it's not important, it don't have to be important because one day somebody will make it important. Because one day some kid going to see, and it's the truth. What we always would say, I wish they would come in the projects. I don't care you, I wish they would come here when I was doing something bad. Because I always believed that I would die before you take my life. But we got to remember, are we willing to do that? Are we willing to deal with the consequences that, and then we talked about it yesterday, the consequences that happens from the violence. So I always think, nah, I can't deal with those consequences. And today for me, if I do anything that's bad, it affects my wife, my kids, and all these students right here. So I can't afford to do anything negative. Even if you make me feel bad, I say you get one spit, you can spit on me one time. And I'm gonna let it go. Because if that's how you feel, I hope you have a better day. 9 times out of 10, most of the time when I see that person again, if they did anything bad, we find a way to love one another. We have a good positive energy. And when I see anybody that asks me, how do you feel? I'm asking, how do you feel? How do you feel?
Good.
How do you feel? 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 So watch this. How do we feel?
Superman getting better, sir. Oh, yeah.
Who are we?
Man, sir.
Meaning.
Never have to make a
Serving today.
Progress each day, sir.
Gratitude is out.
Attitude, sir.
Positive affirmations every day we wake up. If you say it, you live it, you be it, then you'll become it. And that's in everything that we do. So as we talk, it ain't even really the kicks or the punches. I believe if we that way, we'll never get in a fight. That's it. All right.
That's a lot of good knowledge there. He's been there, done it. We are ready to break